Hi everyone, it's Mario Vegas and welcome back to Tank Zone. This time we will talk about another interesting vehicle. Probably it is not as popular as other vehicles in the game, but anyway it is still sitting in a Sophie text tree and it is put there by game developers and we will go through its review today. So the star of the day is Swingfire. The full name is FV438 Swingfire. We will compare this vehicle to its counterparts, we will find out its pros and cons, we will determine the most suitable retrofits and crew skills for this vehicle, and finally, then most important, we will pick them as we go, and you will gonna see how this vehicle can become more or less competitive in the game. It is not the top vehicle and not so popular as others, as I said, but anyway. So, and then at the end we will talk a little bit about tactics, and we will touch tactics as well, going through the stats as well. So let's go. And the Swingfire is a progression tank destroyer. You can find it on the Sophie's tech tree, and this vehicle can be unlocked from Weasel 1 Tow, and it leads to Warrior Milan. FV510 Warrior Milan. So let's start with the sustained damage. And if we compare this vehicle sustained damage stats to other tier 5 and 6 progression tank destroyers, then it turns out significantly competitive. It's surprisingly significantly competitive, at least on the stats table. Look at that. It's quite serious damage, 630, and penetration 1000. At the beginning, penetration is not 1000 with fast missiles available on this vehicle. It's 900 millimeters, but it is still very, very serious even with the 900 millimeters penetration. So yeah, serious damage and very, very good, if not excellent penetration, because even premium tier 6 tank destroyers have lower penetration. So by penetration, Swingfire is definitely number one between tier 5 and 6 tank destroyers. By DPM, it sticks nicely above 5K, which I would evaluate as average standard. However, it is as well highest between tier 6 progression tank destroyers, and only premiums can achieve a bit higher rates. For example, Typhoon gets 5,641 DPM, and the Object 287 gets 6,257 DPM. So DPM is serious as well. Well, pretty much competitive by sustained damage, at least on this stats table. Reload time is good and above our average, and again outbeats any counterparts in tier 6, both premium and progression, if we take in account and compare single projectile or single missile reload time, because this machine has 2 missiles and they can be loaded when one missile is used, you can reload even one missile. You don't need to shoot out both missiles to reload, and for both missiles to be reloaded, it's 11.63 seconds, which is great. It's under 6 seconds for a single missile. But this vehicle has only heat missiles. This is not a tandem heat missile. Yeah, and this vehicle has no secondary armament. So the Swingfire is quite a serious puncher. Yeah, at least by stats. and not to lose any bit of that and increase its firepower edge, then I suggest install Gun Breach. Let's go into the retrofits and let's install Gun Breach straight away. Gun Breach, here you go. And the reload time drops below 11 seconds, 10.37 seconds per 2 missile reload, and the DPM jumps up to 6,247 per minute. And let's pick rapid fire skill for a gun load. Rapid fire skill, here it is. Rapid fire skill, it will boost our reload time a little bit. It's now a little bit lower, 10.15 seconds. So good enough. Let's go to the next section, which will be defense, and let's see what hides here. It's shame, but this vehicle's armor is very poor. Therefore, during the game, we should put emphasis on good concealment and avoid detection and return fire as much as possible. Let's remember that we don't have secondary armament on this vehicle to fight back, neither during missile reload nor or fully loaded if in very close and dynamic combat situations. Because if we take a look at armor calculator, so let's take a look at armor calculator, then even such vehicles as for example, I don't know, Fox, for example, Scout Track as a Fox can easily penetrate Swingfire. So, and to prove that to you, let's pick a Fox. Number 6. Fox, here it is. Sorry. Fox, and let's go to 30 millimeters armored piercing autocannon. You can see from any side, armor piercing rounds from autocannon go through. I don't even talk about tank rounds. So a ricochet is possible only on these small edges, and if you are lucky, you know, for example, in this configuration, in this from this point of view, yeah, here. And otherwise it goes through this vehicle as through the butter. Okay, let's go back to the garage and continue. Well, zero armor. That's why, as I said, concealment and avoidance of return fire and detection is your number one priority in the game. Not kind of number one priority, but number one defensive priority regarding defense. So let's go to the mobility. Not bad top speed, but it is second slowest tank destroyer between tier 6, and acceleration is very slow. Look at that, it's 5.26 seconds acceleration to 32 kilometers per hour. It is something that you would expect from a main battle tank and not from tank destroyer. By acceleration stats, Swingfire is sitting between, it is slowest between tier 6 tank destroyers, and even some main battle tanks can do better than that. This factor should be taken into account picking the right gameplay tactics with this vehicle. Playing with Swingfire, you not only want to avoid the detection and keep your vehicle concealed, but keep a decent distance from the enemy. There are two reasons for that, and one reason is slow acceleration, which may decrease your chances to run away from fast ATVs or even main battle tanks if your position is compromised, and then choosing for assault with a move to your direction. Another reason for keeping distance is targeting, which we will take a look at when we will go through the targeting section. Good, not bad, Halterbass. Really not bad, and it is enough for a tasks performed by Swingfire. And at this point, let's pick off-road driving for a drive. Off-road driving for a drive. To increase acceleration time on off-road surfaces for 20% by 20%, and to somehow fight back this acceleration on not to be even slower on off-road surfaces. And another skill, spin to wind, to increase halterbass speed by 5%. Spin to wind to increase its whole traverse speed, which is very handy because you should turn your vehicle preferably to direction of a fire, because the turret cannot be turned, it's fixed turret. So in my opinion, for Swingfire, these driver skills are only valuable skills, and these are skills that are necessary as well to at least somehow compensate for acceleration issues and increase vehicles generally agility. Don't get me wrong, Swingfire mobility does not consist only of cons. It has improved reverse. This vehicle can go backwards much faster than other vehicles, so it can become very handy and give you opportunity to run from the enemy kind of backwards with your missile launcher pointed in the direction you running away, and at the same time, so you can try to shoot back, return fire to the chasers. And another good trait what this machine has, it is amphibious, so it can stay underwater for 20 seconds instead of 10, and it gives you more opportunities to either hide or either cross the wider river sections or lakes, and yeah, it gives you more amphibious opportunities. So utility, what we can see at this in this tab, well, moderate camo, 35%. It is already with camo painting, yeah. So 35% with the camo painting. Stock camo would be 30%. I would say it is below average. Below average, what I would expect, a little bit below average, what I would expect from a tank destroyer, what I would like to see on a tank destroyer. But anyway, and vision range, I would say as well below average, 370 meters vision range by stock stats. And this 30% stock camo and this not top vision means that you must again think about keeping a decent distance from enemy forces, and rely on your teammates to spot targets for you. I don't know about you guys, but I even tried to install telescopic lenses, electro-optical absorbing paint, and assigned Sabrina to get additional 8 meters vision range, spotting through the foliage boost, and camo ratings, and seriously, it didn't work. It didn't work. So therefore, at this point, I would suggest installing only electro-optical absorbing paint retrofit to boost camera rating to what it will give us. Let's see, electro-absorbing paint to give us 35% while we are moving, and 43% while we are stationary, and pick Rashid as a command to fight camo penalty when we firing. So yeah, I use Rashid on this vehicle to at least somehow get more concealment while I to lose less concealment while I firing. If any of you could suggest to me how you deal with these issues on this vehicle, then please write down the comment in the comment section. I will really appreciate that. Maybe your solution is much better. So, but now let's carry on with targeting. 45 degrees fixed launcher, which has downsides and benefits as well. As I mentioned earlier, there are two reasons why playing with Swingfire you would like to keep appropriate distance from the enemy. One was lack of protection, very poor armor, and sluggishness. Plus vehicle do not have edge in vision range and camo, and it has no secondary secondary armament, no secondary weapon to shoot back while you reload. And another reason for that, the last reason for that is the 45 degrees fixed missile launch. I would like to emphasize that this is fixed missile launcher, which does not allow you to fire at targets in close range, in very close range. All your launched missiles will go up into the sky, skywards at 45 degrees angle, and in a 12 o'clock direction, and only then you adjust its flight path to the target. And if the target will not be directly in front of you, then at close distances, say closer than 100 or 50 meters, then you may experience difficulty to hit the target or even lose a shot, depending how many degrees your vehicle is turned away from the enemy and the distance between you and the target. This is a reason why if you encounter Swingfire on the battlefield, best way to approach it is by moving in kind of arc around its position, rapidly close in, and then cycle around the Swingfire and fire at it. And that's how you can easily defeat this machine. This is in a case if you want to deal with this vehicle in a kind of duel at the end of match or in similar situation. It depends, but let's return to the Swingfire itself. If you pick right positioning, 45 degrees fixed launcher can turn out very beneficial. With this launcher, it is possible to completely hide your Swingfire behind protective cover and engage distant targets. So now tell me, is this fixed launcher downside or it is beneficial? Probably it's depend on situation, right, and on your gameplay style. Now let's install anti-tank guided missile control unit to improve our missile agility by 20%, because this machine, this vehicle works only with missiles. So this will improve missile agility for 20% and reduce missile noise by 50%. Missile noise reduction in combination with Rashid Camel penalty when firing reduction skill may turn out useful, trying to keep your vehicle concealed as much as possible. And at this point, let's pick a Sting like a B skill for a gun loader to increase anti-tank guided missile control by 15%. So with this configuration, your missiles should be very, 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 very well controllable. Now let's do a quick pros and cons recap and make a resume on how to play with Swingfire. We have quite a lot of cons on this vehicle, and we have quite a lot of pros as well. It's depends how you play, how you put that. Let's start with the pros. It has a serious damage. Good damage, good enough, 630, and excellent penetration, 1000 millimeters, and not bad, seriously not bad DPM, 6,382 at the end, at this point of configuration. The vehicle has, talking about mobility, vehicle has improved reverse. You can go backwards much faster than with the other vehicles, and while doing that you can even try to return fire to chasers. This vehicle is amphibious and allows you to stay longer under the water and across wider water bodies. And this vehicle has a 45 degrees fixed launcher, which can be not only your vehicle's downside, but it can be very beneficial if you want to hide your vehicle behind impregnable cover and then shoot back over that cover and target distant enemies. But we found out this vehicle has cons as well. So, and the first one I would like to mention is that this vehicle has only heat missiles, heat, not tandem heat missiles. Very poor armor, slow acceleration. Look at that, 5.26 seconds. Moderate camo rating, 35 while moving, and jumps up only to 43% while stationary with the electro-optical absorbing paint installed. And insufficient vision range, definitely 370 meters. It is not enough to go and spot targets for yourself, and it is not enough to go and confront and engage main battle tanks on your own. So basically all your targets should be spotted by someone else. So it is very serious downside, and this very much influences your performance with this vehicle. And again, as I said, 45% degree fixed missile launcher. It depends how you play with this vehicle. If you not using this 45 degrees fixed missile launcher to hide your vehicle behind protective cover and shoot from there, and then it has no use. It has no use. It is con, not a pro in that case. So well, guys, what is your opinion about the Swingfire? How do you suggest to play with it, and how do you suggest to configure it? If you have any ideas of if you got me somewhere wrong, write down that in a comment section, and give your opinion about this vehicle, about configuration and things like that. Personally, I prefer and suggest sticking to strongly classic kind of tank destroy gameplay style. Position preferably should be concealed by vegetation, and if you can find a spot where you can completely hide vehicle behind impregnable cover, sticking out only your missile launcher top over that cover, then you may try out this effective tactic. Sand dunes and rolling hills can also be exploited for the same reason, not only rock formations. So yes, playing with Swingfire, I aim for medium to long range tank destroyer support fire duties. And overall vehicle is not bad, but it may be hard to play and hard to compete for targets during highly dynamic matches, and quite often the amount of damage you deal and perform is in general is determined by simply a luck, because all your targets pretty much must be spotted by someone else, and you must be lucky to point your vehicle at that direction. Launch missile flight time is longer than other projectile time, and by that time the missile reaches the target can be already gone, and you can easily underperform playing with this vehicle. However, of course, playing with this vehicle, I had very for this vehicle, I would say, good results. I will put screenshots with the results at the end of this video, so you can tell me is it a good performance or not. Not always I've got such result, but anyway, sometimes I'm lucky and can even outbeat numerous my teammates and be in the top 3 of damage dealers in a game. In my opinion, Swingfire is more or less suitable for more or less static long matches, and certain maps like Pleternitsa, Aldaba, Carson City, Cold Strike, Pipelines, maybe Reactor as well. Basically, the maps where you can hide your vehicle somewhere in vegetation and then overlook the huge wide areas of the battlefield. So basically, yeah, that's it about this vehicle, and that's it for today. Thank you for watching and following Tank Zone. Have a wonderful day, as always, and as always, see you in the next episode.